Okay, so this is a second question and answer video. Geometry Soup asks, what is your final goal for GD, as in like a level you want to beat? My answer is, I don't really have a final goal for GD as a level that I want to beat, but I'm perfectly content with having an 8-star Insane as my hardest for all eternity. However, there are quite a lot of levels I would like to make/finish in the future, and I guess my final goal would be to make all those levels I've been wanting to make. And I could do that. However, my current skill level, it takes me about 3 or so months for me to build a layout that's only a minute long, let alone trying to decorate the entire layout. So either getting to that goal is going to take a really long time and a lot of perseverance, or my goal is never going to be achieved. In order to help with this, I've been signing up to as many collaborations as I can manage at one time to try and learn from other creators and improve my skills at building and decoration. At the moment, things seem to be working on an upwards trend, but it's going to take a good while. Anna Jill Jap Tap 66460 asks, Question 1, what are your PC specs? Question 2, is it pre-built or custom? My answer is, I have a custom PC I built in 2019, so all the parts are starting to get a little outdated at the moment. I specifically built it for After Effects workflows and for welding advanced editing software, which is funnily enough what I still use it to do this day. The reason why I mention this is because the specs reflect that it is not really built for gaming, which is good because I don't really have the time for gaming anymore anyway, apart from recording Geometry Dash videos for my YouTube. So the specs are as follows. Threadripper 1920X, 12 cores, 24 threads. It's a first generation Threadripper, so it's surprisingly cheap to purchase while having an insane core count for the day. 16GB DDR4 RAM, which I feel I should probably upgrade soon considering the creative programs are becoming more and more RAM hungry these days. ROG Zenith Extreme motherboard, which is literally the cheapest first generation Threadripper board you can still get. Also regarding the processor, if you're thinking about getting it, just don't. It performs great, sure, it even outperforms most gaming PC processors to this day, but the TR4 socket is nasty, or at least from what I've experienced with it on my board. It's incredibly hard to screw into the socket because the screws are far too short, and I faced a number of chipset issues. Sometimes I'll pull out the graphics card and plug it back in, then all of a sudden my computer would not boot and I'd have to reinsert the processor back into the socket again. And I have to keep doing this until the error message disappears. Regarding the other specs, I do have the Cooler Master Wraith Ripper, which is probably one of the best air coolers you can get for a Threadripper processor, apart from the Noctura one, which of course is very over the top. The Wraith Ripper keeps my CPU at temperatures around 40 degrees Celsius. The highest temperature that I've ever seen the CPU reach was 68 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty good. My graphics card is probably the most controversial part of my entire setup. I use the GTX 1060, which was the previous generation when I bought it, and people have told me that it'll bottleneck my system if I ever choose to game. I don't really game that much, so that issue is sort of resolved. However, back when I was playing Minecraft frequently, I did decide to overclock it a little bit, and I saw a small FPS boost, and I've been keeping it that way ever since. My power supply is a 650 watt EVGA Gold, and my storage is a Samsung M.2 970 EVO 1TB drive. Because my motherboard is sort of old now, the M.2 hits about 1.5 GB per second, but I make up with the supposed lackluster M.2 speeds with my incredible amount of hard disk storage space. I have a 500GB SATA SSD, which I use to load all my DaVinci Resolve optimized media and proxies, and a 4TB HDD for videos, and a 2TB drive for sound effects, music, images, etc. And then I've got like 4 or so miscellaneous 2TB hard drives which I use to back up footage from all the YouTube videos and all the other things I record. I guess I'm a bit of a hoarder in that regard, but yeah, that's my PC specs and stuff. British Mandia asks, what's your favourite level you've beaten and why? I can't really think of any level that I've beaten that's my favourite or anything. I've never truly enjoyed playing a level so much that I can definitively say that it's better than all of the other levels I've ever completed. The closest level in that regard would have to be Phantom by the Real Salad, which then again, I first bet was technically a new hardest for me. In general, I found the gameplay very satisfying and challenging, even to this day, except of course it's not challenging anymore. Mostly when I say a level is my favourite, I often refer to levels that are way above my skill limit. And the reason why I call them my favorite, and even though I'm probably never going to play them, is because they either look really good, or they flow with the music really well, or they're just really fun to watch. In that regard, one of my favorite levels is Rampant Circles. Sure, no one's going to beat Rampant Circles because it's basically impossible and the decoration is a basic 9 circles decoration but dark. But it's really fun to watch. The intensity of the gameplay fits the music so well, and it's crazy span that the wave has to achieve in order to not hit any obstacles. And it's also just sort of hilarious as well. V5 Shrike asks, hardest demon and what's the next demon you're targeting at? My answer of course is Burger Dance. It's a very insane level. I'm not targeting any demons at the moment. peacedbanana asks, Heya Ninjadan, it's me, your boy funny fruit person. I do have a handful of questions. Number 1. Are you planning on ever hosting events in your Discord server, not counting those collabs such as silent subscribers or the milestone streams you do in VC, but things such as you laugh you lose events or other things that can get the community involved? And do you enjoy being a YouTuber, and why do you think you've managed to get so popular in the first place? Question 3. Are there any videos on your channel that you really wish you didn't make, or any videos that you wish you could remake? That's all. If this text gets in the Q&A video, then subscribe to peacedbanana, lol. So for the question about hosting events on my Discord, to be honest, I am a bit of a Discord noob and I don't really know how to set up events in Discord, and I could probably set up events. In fact, I really should have made one for silent subscribers so I could maybe actually get that collab finished. I could set up some sort of event like a you laugh you lose sort of thing, but I don't really do those things for the same reason that I don't stream anymore, and that's because I don't have the time. Apart from when I'm building a new level on my phone, the only time I play Geometry Dash is when it's for a video. So I do a lot of recording, and that means I have to spend 4 times the amount of time that I spent recording to edit up what I just recorded. And basically the only time I'm on Discord is either early in the morning to check on YouTube and other general notifications, or if I'm editing. So if I do those sorts of events, then it means more editing, and I've already got enough of an editing backlog as it is. For your question about do you enjoy being a YouTuber and why I think I've gotten so popular, my answer to that is, well, I don't mind editing. I like recording videos. I love watching the progress bar on a video when it renders, but what I like most of all, and probably what every YouTuber likes the most of all, is reading the comments from the videos to see what people think of it. Comment sections on videos, especially the really popular videos I've made, have been such a treasure trove. If the comment section didn't exist, then there'd be no race to beat Crylocked. I wouldn't have known that if I changed 3 jumps in Crylocked, I could make the whole thing physically possible. And my most popular video at the moment, the Demon List before Acheron, wouldn't exist as it was inspired by all the things I got wrong that were pointed out in the comments section of What is Zoink's Secret Project. So I guess the thing that I like the most about being a YouTuber is reading all of the comments. And of course, how I think I got all the views, well, I believe in my early days was just down to luck, as Ninjadan is a great example of this because on that channel I'm following the same rules that I followed in the early days of my channel, and I now have random videos of stuff which have got view counts exceeding 1000. However, later on I believe the secret to my success was simply making the right thing at the right time and doing it well. Like for example, during the Space UK situation, I was one of the first to make a decent, well-edited video, and I got copious views as a reward. And that was mostly the strategy I used until I became too self-conscious of my video quality and I wasn't able to make a commentary video in one day anymore. And from then onwards, I feel like the content that gave my channel views was big, general content videos that were not dependent on place and time, such as the Zoink Secret Project video and the Demon List video. However, my videos on botting very hard levels appear to be getting a decent amount of views as well. This is probably because they're based on levels that already exist in the GD space, and that's probably why those videos are succeeding. On your question about if there are any videos that I regret uploading, there are actually no videos made that I regret uploading, as each video I've made is sort of its own time capsule of what my content was like at that point on my channel. Sure, there are a lot of videos I don't really like, for example my one short that got 300,000 views, but the thing about that short is not that I hated it, but rather the fact that a video of that quality, which was cringy, over the top, and straight up untrue in some parts, became my most watched piece of content at one point. And I mean, it was cool that I had 300,000 views on it, but it was not what I wanted to be known for. I didn't want to be known for creating cringy YouTube shorts. I wanted to be known for creating actual good video content. so I'm quite pleased in this modern era of my channel when my video with the most views is one of my best videos. Now in terms of videos I wish I could remake, in technicality that is every video, because in every video when I watch it again, I notice one or two things, like maybe a few minor animations that weren't as smooth as I wanted them, or maybe one graphic shows up a little bit too late or whatever. But these are simply things that no one's gonna notice or care about, so I try not to care. Plus, I didn't want to have to remake an entire video just because one animation is off. But in terms of my worst video in general, that I would want to remake the most would have to be, well, a video I never uploaded. Okay, we're going to be going into some deep Ninjadan lore here. The first proper video that I was meant to upload to my channel before the video Heliopolis But I Made It was actually meant to be a video on me completing all of the main levels on 30Hz, because at that stage I was stuck with my 30Hz 4K monitor, yes, they exist, and I had actually never completed all of the main levels either, so I knew this video was going to take a lot of work. I had episode 1 all done and edited where I bit stereo madness to bass after bass on 30Hz, and I recorded episode 2, which was 50% on Time Machine, 70% on Cycles, and 100% on X-Step, and it was my first X-Step completion as well, which was a new hardest for me. And I went to edit up the second episode, and I found that after an update, something had messed up with my OBS settings, and instead of OBS recording it in 4K for my 4K monitor, it instead recorded in HD, and recorded only a quarter of my screen. And it was up in the top right corner as well, where nothing was happening. So after realizing that my recording for episode 2 was completely worthless, I decided to ditch the series entirely and deleted my footage for the second episode and didn't even upload the first episode. In fact, it's still on my hard drive somewhere, and then about a month later, I recorded and edited my Heliopolis video and uploaded that instead. So that is the video that I'd like to remake the most, or rather, the series I'd like to remake the most. And considering the main level list is a thing now, probably because of you and your one Reddit post, I could make a series where I grind the main level list on 30Hz. So yeah, that is what I'd like to remake.